Hello everyone, welcome to this special edition of the Trading DNA report where we're going to incorporate some of the fabulous tools and techniques from W.D. Gann and also the Fibonacci series, which of course is nature's building block. What we can see here is the weekly chart for the S&P 500. And it always amazes me that you get these market commentators who come out and say it's impossible to predict where a market's going to go. Nobody knows what it's going to do next. And it's just not true. What you will find is that if you do some research into technical analysis and understand what markets have done in the past, you can then get very close, have early warnings for major reversals or major changes of trend. All you need to do is to be prepared and wait for the market to confirm that your thoughts about a reversal are indeed going to pay off. Now, what I've done here on the weekly chart, I've marked a couple of very significant points, and I'm going to show you how some of these points were predictable with one or two mouse clicks on a fabulous software package like Optuma. Now, when we look at what's going on here, there was a major low at the end of March 2020. This, of course, was the COVID panic low. And the market then started a very strong run up to point B, which was January 2022. All markets will have strong runs and then they will have counter trends. They'll have profit taking. Traders will decide they've got brilliant profit here. And if the market looks like it's going to have a reversal, they'll cash in, take that profit, and then wait for the next opportunity. This is where we start to do some work on our charts. And a very simple tool that I love to use is the Fibonacci retracement tool. Now in Optuma, I've got that set up through here. I'm just going to click on this here. And what we're going to do is to take the range from point A and run it up to point B. Now the Fibonacci series is nature's building block, and all things work to this code. We see plants, animals, trees, shrubs, you name it, and we apply this to the stock market with devastating results. It's really quite remarkable. The ratios for the Fibonacci series are 23.6, 38.2, 61.8, and 76.4. Now, W.D. Gann, in his writing, popularized the halfway point. And over many years of research, he recognized that markets will quite often have a pullback or a rally of 50%, and then major reversals can occur at this point. He made a lot of money by watching the halfway point, in this case, the halfway point between A and B, which is around 3,500 points. He's watching that level to see what the market does. What we can do today with this fabulous tool and our software package is just drag this across to the right-hand side. As long as the market stays between A and B, we can just use this tool as it is. Now note point C. This is October 2022, and it is almost perfectly on the halfway point between point A and point B. Educated traders at this point are on red alert, looking for a signal, whether it is a time signal, a favorite market pattern, CCI, stochastics, RSIs, whatever you like to use. But there is a fabulous potential turning point at point C. Once the market confirms that it is going to turn, then we know that there's a very good chance that there's an opportunity for us to buy in at this low price. You can see here the market reacting to the Fibonacci level at 38.2, and the top was reacting to the Fibonacci level at 23.6. These are all significant milestones in a market move. One of the things I get constantly from traders is, how do we now predict what the market's going to do when it's rising and rallying above point B? And this current scenario, the Trump tariff panic, has given us a classic learning curve as to what we can do next. Now, in Optuma, what I'm going to do is to take these ranges and add them above point B. So we've got the range from A to B. We're going to take this and simply repeat it from point B upwards. If I right click on this tool and I come into the settings here, you'll see there is a setting called mirror. And what that simply does is it takes the ranges for these levels and adds them to point B rather than deducting them from point B downwards. We're adding them to point B going up. Now what this does is it shows you how balanced and how perfectly markets can repeat on certain occasions, and educated traders are diving in to take advantage of these fabulous clues. For example, point D is exactly halfway to the distance between A and B. We've just added this on top, and now you can see at the 50% range, point D, which was the high price of February 2025, the market was struggling to break that halfway point and finally ended up capitulating in a very strong panic downward move. Now the market has now come to the previous top at point B and is now sitting on that and has recently had a very strong rally. These are all significant turning points and predictable. What we need to do is to watch to see what the market does around these levels. It might pay at this point to show you the same thing in a slightly different way. Let's just have a look at the price range. So from point A to point B, the market ran up 2,626 points. Now from point C to point D, this might surprise you, but here's a perfect repeat. From point C to point D, the market ran up 2,655 points. The difference between the two is 20 points, or less than 1% of the difference from A to B is repeated from C to D. If we have a look at the range from point B to point C, we can see the market dropped down 1,327 points. Let's take a look at the pullback from point D to point E before it started to find good support, 1,312 points, or almost 10 points, less than 1% difference. This is what Gann was saying when he said that markets just repeat and repeat and repeat. And educated traders who understand this are getting ready to buy into the market at this level around 4,800. The smart traders are ready to buy this market around 3,500, making massive incomes because they understand that markets are not random and they can be predicted and they can be traded if you take the time to learn what markets do. And I've had the pleasure of helping traders learn these fabulous tricks in the last 30 years. It's been a fabulous joy to see people understand and make good profits from these terrific Gann and Fibonacci tools. I hope that makes sense for you, and of course, any questions or queries, you're welcome to send them through. I'll see you again next week with another look at these fabulous Gann and Fibonacci tools in trading. Bye for now.